As you vote today, remember that rugged men like us are sleeping in the bush every day and night, just to protect you and make you sleep with your two eyes closed. Our wife and our children are waiting for us at home to return safe and take care of them. As you vote today, my fellow Nigerians, vote wisely and vote for that man who is capable in changing the narration of this country. Those people that are capable of taking the security apparatus of Nigeria to the standard. We, the counter-terrorists, we need that man that is capable in giving us the weapon that we needed to defeat a man with AK-47. We are here to protect you, Nigerians, as you vote today and beyond against 2023 general election. Vote for the future of our children. Vote for the future of our Nigerian youths. Vote for everything that will bring good things in Nigeria. Do not vote for party, but vote for personality. Vote for those that have the capability to take us to the promised land. Nigeria is getting to a mess where we choose to get a job that will make our life better. But where we are today, living in the bush, we are getting the upper of taking care of our children. At the end of the day, where are we today? May we vote today to vote out every bad leaders, all the money looters, all the self.
Because the survey when we get shows that 92% of the people of Sierra Leone believe in the work they do. That was done by the PFM Consortium, an independent body which confirms that the people of Sierra Leone strongly believe in the fight against corruption and in support with you they do. I just don't tell you results. I don't tell you say the people that will investigate. Some will let them go. Some will find them guilty. But you don't ask me a lot of questions about the past government. Maybe if you come to the present government, then we now come with the details.
Mr. Commissioner,
no, but you question, the only way how you question will make meaning to the people of Sierra Leone if we don't do a comparative presentation of the work we don't do with people in the past government, we do with the present government, before we now come for assess with the perception of the people.
But I tell you, say, go fine since
yes.
you did at the studio, let we try for flag most of the issues then, because they look at 2021 as a whole year. So if you dare, and we as journalists, fellow, they bring to you some of the issues.
I agree. Okay, let me look at that situation.
They follow the conversation, especially conversation where they spark debates from Sierra Leone and the way now when they use social media, where I believe they use them very actively.
Yes.
Let me ask you that question.
Yes, and a very good question. I be just want to make sure say we build the context well. But I tell you, say that's okay when they talk say me they only go after people in the past government. It's not true. In fact, they go after people in the present government far more than people in the past government. But also, most significantly, even the one that will go after the past government, anybody point to one, we go talk, say, we go ask our questions them, and there was no basis to ask him. One, there will be none. All of them had issues to answer. They made statements. Their issues were legitimate. The claims against them were all legitimate. Serious accountability issues. Some of them we don't find guilty in court. Some of them don't pay back billions voluntarily. They come and say, yes, now we take, look am. I present them to the people of Sierra Leone and say, this money we will take from people in the past government, look at more. The same thing for the ones them we will not find guilty. We come back and say, they were them, yes, like Ambassador Yassane. I just don't talk about Paolo Conte and others. We look at them and say, no, yeah, evidence not there, and we let them go. At the end of the day, we get a serious responsibility for perform. We not get for come and talk, say, okay, because we don't want to let people they point finger at we for say people they in the past government that they run after. So all their sins are forgiven. No. We don't get that kind of blanket amnesty. Now ACC.
Alright.
Now a question of.
All right, welcome to another beautiful edition of the program. We are. I be tell you say we actually get for camp this evening time. This not to the usual time, but we go come for let we can talk to the Anti-Corruption Commission for let we know waiting they happen with regards to the fight against corruption inside the country. Well, we see Usai December the audit service actually pulled the report. way now the way how government they spend money out in the get and spend money out and they manage certain projects and all of them things and they. And normally we can see say the Anti-Corruption Commission whenever them things and they can come out and can pull word and then can actually call certain people them where they can ask question and also the need arise they can actually retrieve some money them back from them people them there where they can send back na the COFA. I mean the bank of Salon, that money, that bank account where now we all get them. They can send and they back where they can call the consolidated fund. Well, today we actually they can talk to the Anti-Corruption Commission, and inside the program we get the public relations officer for the Anti-Corruption Commission, winner Sylvanus Blake, where they're inside the program. For we talk about different things then. This is not the very first time for we get the Anti-Corruption Commission inside the program. So we want for use this opportunity for ask plenty questions. So you where to watch me right now, you where the any side any platform where you watch me from right now, na YouTube, na Facebook. You feel free for as usual ask your question through the comments, and at some point you will get for ask direct question to Mr. Blake. We know waiting the happen because I know we're able to ask all the question, but with you by my side we can able to ask the necessary question them where Anti-Corruption Commission need for give you answer to, and then they are and then go actually do justice to all of them things indeed. Like I said, we get Sylvanus Blake, we're now the public relations officer for the Anti-Corruption Commission. Mr. Blake, good evening and welcome to We Are. This is the very first time we actually get on inside this program. First of all, I want to say Happy New Year to you.
Thank you very much, my brother, and Happy New Year. Like you say now, we first time this for be on this platform. They follow this platform, influential platform, and we want to say thank you to Uno for consider the ACC and for actually go out for we, because the offer don't come from last week. We try to get a convenient time. On behalf of the commissioner in deputy and the entire staff at the ACC and the people of Sierra Leone, we say kudos to Una and we appreciate this offer.
Okay, I think this now we all fight because the president we actually don't say the fight against corruption and collaborative efforts, because say the fight of against corruption get for fight back, and we don't say how we don't talk. So let me actually look at the ACC, the first or the thing where we could look at Francis Ben Kaifala, the very first time when I listened to on 98.1 when they talk about the fight against corruption. He actually say, corruption, he not say the fight against corruption is very serious, but at some point where you go very close to the power that it could be very difficult, but they go try their best to put everything under control. So far, what you go say with regards to the fight against corruption, especially, with regards how the perception of people to the Anti-Corruption Commission and the fight against corruption?
Generally, in the past 4 years, I'm glad the way you go to Ben Kaifala in tenure. In the past 4 years, we don't get Francis Ben Kaifala as commissioner. A lot has happened, positive things in the fight against corruption. That don't mean say before it come into office, nothing not been there happen. Now a working process. All the 5 commissioners them will be done there before Ben Kaifala come, then do them beats from Valentine Collier, Joko Smart, Abdul Tijan Cole to Joseph Fitzgerald Kamara to Adi Macaulay. They all do them beats. But truth be told, the parameters, the trajectory we Ben can wait. Maybe we don't learn from them previous commissioner them, and they don't see if I get a privilege, Usai I go begin the fight. And so Usai begin the fight, like what you rightly say, now for take the fight to the corrupt, because we've been prepared very well that they are going to fight back. So like what he said, the best form of defense is going on the offensive. The ACC choose for go on the offensive. And when we go on the offensive, right, some of we compatriot them with perpetrators of corruption. They're not able to come to terms with the trajectory, the speed, the flair, the determination. And so many of them not get option either hide properly or stay away from corruption, or sometimes fight back, either recruit some of the compatriots there, peddle, think them way not true, but they campaign against corruption, attempt for column, either a political witch hunt or a fight we targeted at some, not a fight for all. But all those, we've been prepared for them. So Ben Kaifala in campaign, it characterized by taking the fight to the corrupt. He drew the line in December of 2018, where he bring Professor Lumumba na Probe College, host time at the Ajayi Crowther Amphitheater, who side would be say, he don't draw the line. And if you elect Salon and you want for be remembered for good things, then stay on the side of the campaign against corruption.
So the question where I go ask,
if you go against
how visible this line where Ben Kaifala, draw, how visible it be from all sides?
It's a clear line. It's a very clear, vivid line. And maybe I'm not going to speak for everybody then but from what I have seen in the past 4 years, and I have been in the commission before Ben came. He don't come meet me there, so I am a bit, and many of we were there, a bit more placed for give a holistic picture of how the fight against corruption has been. I have been there. This is now my 13th year now. Some others don't do there for about 16, 18, and even 20 years. ACC now 23 years. So I don't do there for over 50% of ACC in lifetime.
Congratulations.
And so I know what's in at the top.
This sometimes they can say experience not the best teacher. In other words, the kind of experience you don't get at the ACC, I think you're not the right person for we talk, because no case not the way we not hear you off, we not don't pass near you, we no don't see, we no don't hear how the ACC they handle linkage then. So I think that's a good thing for we get you, and I'm sure for be the PRO for ACC, I think they don't make mistake at all. So now we begin going into the thing. We want to draw a lot of clarifications, okay? But before we go to all of them clarifications today, because between me and you, every day people then they ask questions with regards certain things them where they want to know about. So, but let me go to the recent audit report. How we not only see in the last 2 years, the 2020-2021 audit report, how we not only see, the fight against corruption on that particular report.
The audit report now one way we appreciate 1,000%.
Okay.
And it don't be a key indicator for all interested Sierra Leoneans for know what in they happen to with public resources.
Okay.
Whether they entrust in the hands of public officers, where regardless their position, their size, or their portfolio, they are servants of the people.
Mm-hmm.
And so we an audit service Sierra Leone for start with get a relationship with, I can call her a inseparable. Now married, we're not a divorce.
Okay.
Maybe Catholic marriage. Yeah. Whether we like them or not, we an audit service for work together. And because we like them and then like them, we get what we call MOU. And that MOU, last year we renew them. We make we party business strengthened and the independence of both institutions. We not tamper with them. And then, but the collaboration of both is key. Before I come into the 2021 and 2022 audit report, for we viewers and listeners, now we an audit report, the MOU will get one pandemic where we go do. We're not any longer wait. Going forward, we're not any longer wait. Let them done audit report, produce the report, send them parliament before then we go know what's in them discover when a suspected corruption. So while they're on real-time audit, then at them office CCR, they ask questions, ask for document. If they stumble upon what in them feels in a real-time corruption, the MOU require them for tell we straight away. So that while they do the audit, we can step in and hold people accountable. Why we do this?
So
now,
this one, because what we don't see, Lara Telopias, Abdulaziz, what we don't see, then don't they complain, say, certain time then they, some MDAs them, not agree for present or provide some documentation, or not agree for answer, or in some cases, some MDAs, when they, some head of MDAs, when they no say, then they come for audit, now they tell them go take leave, now they tell them go get patrol, now they tell them go get workshop, then just for let them not make themselves available. So this particular MOU go address that one day, because even this 2021 report, so Abdulaziz complained about the same thing.
So that is why we don't go into this MOU, because if, for example, auditors, they ask you sensitive questions and papers and all the rest, and you can't provide, either they say construct all them unimaginable bureaucracies. If in their opinion they think say now something you they hide, then go tell you straight away. So we not the wait again 1 year after we audit report for more. Because like what do they now do? Now 2021 issues will they address in 2023. Almost 2 years late into it. Yeah. So that MOU will address that. And even we ACC, what would they do with sting operations, with systems review? If we see audit risk, we they tell audit service, and then they can do special audit or no less sit down, because this fire brigade operation for the fight against corruption and for promote integrity now one stop. First we read the fire, we go there, try for water. Before now they don't order fire, don't blaze somewhere else. So and all this we they do now for like what you say, let public officers treat audit issues as serious as they job them, and if they want they job them. Because if we continue for the negligence, I mean, they're coming out to the 2021 issues, my brother. All of the things that we did are not a new things. That are the disappointing part. Every accusation and audit query in the 2021 audit report, none is new. They are all the same set issues where we don't talk about, where we don't charge people to court for,
very
where we
well.
don't
So
recover
this
money
una
for.
MOU with Audit Service Sierra Leone, where una no need for wait for let and then don't for do the audit before una come inside. Una actually don't begin that kind of work there.
Well, now November last year we renewed the MOU.
Okay, we mean say not take effect for this particular one.
This we don't pass already. But
Yeah.
going forward, maybe when we do this joint operations, then we press release in all they always full. We'll tell the public how we know, but what we don't address. If now audits them refer to we no need for hide them, because they are here for accountability. If we self-refer issue to them, we tell the public so don't refer this and this to audit service. So going forward, let's see how this will work out. But honestly, I have a reason to believe that it will work out, because experience don't teach we say. Now we are responding to the issues in the 2021 audit report, and it's the same thing. When we go last week to this week, we conducted raids in public offices. Public officers have been called to come and answer on tax obligations with several billions. With public institutions they know say therefore pay tax to NACIT, to NRA, either withholding tax, PAYE, NACIT contribution, or revenue to consolidated fund. They know they do it. I don't understand.
So
why.
so one thing we are pick up from the audit report, even the NRA, where you make reference to where now then for the pay then tax and they too, then for the cut them, PAYE, whatever withholding tax and all. Then say fall victim in this report. Yeah, whereas then buy piece of land about $1 million something $1,000. Yeah, where at the end of the day they're supposed to pay I think $132,000 dollars as part of withholding tax. They don't pay them at all. It not reflect. Even when the audit come back and ask them question about that, they say they don't do them, but no evidence, no day for that. So for say they not even understand what thing they happen.
I cannot agree that they don't understand. They know they are the custodians of with tax regime.
You know why I ask you this question? Because I want to take you direct to somewhere else. I'm glad that you say the custodian of that particular thing they supposed to know everything. You know why I ask? Going to Parliament. At one point, Parliament will get issue. In fact, inside this same audit report of 2020. Whereas, at the end of the day, una say, I don't know how una call and control and department, mechanism department, that's how for prevent something from happening again. How una call and please get on a remote.
Yeah, corruption prevention department.
Very well. Una say Parliament of all, Parliament will make the law. Parliament where now them they call people them where the audit reports don't say they're not able to do something very well in terms of managing the country in resources. Now then they call Parliament and then people in the public account committee, then get the transparency committee, all of them things there. But una find out say at the end of the day, who say Parliament for being take money. Like if they go oversight, then for can liquidate. We mean say they for can account back how they spend them, signature and all. But at the end of the day, we find out say una come out and tell we say Parliament no understand, so they don't send and go na the corruption prevention department for prevent and not for happen again. How na be reach to that?
You see, they address systemic corruption.
Like this word.
By prosecution.
Okay.
Yeah. If corruption systemic, na the system faulty. They hold the individual way don't perpetrate corruption because of a faulty system. Can go court and accept that system for work next. You really have to correct.
Please forgive me, but I get for the ask for certain words them. How una can determine waiting a systemic problem?
So it is systemic if one, the regulation not there, or the regulation there, but it's very weak. It get loopholes. What's in the law that they call lacuna. It gets in them where somebody will go hide the end after where it don't fail for do what it not say for do. Yeah. And sometimes in Sierra Leone, the systems what they call good systems now on the face of it. You see, even we Cap 6, yeah, the 1991 Constitution. See the kind of arguments where they are around that. So we say you get smart people and you put smart laws. Now the regime then they play with. Then they skew them and interpret them in a way where you will find them difficult to hold them. One clear-cut example in one of the financial regimes, the 2016 financial regulations where Parliament been passed. Section 39 of that regulation give the finance minister power for use 1% of GDP or with annual national budget on anything in public interest.
Will it come to that? Then a whole topic on you. Will it come to that? Yeah, it's a very big topic we can touch on soon. But before we go to that, let me still enter the parliament. You talk about systemic. You talk about systemic. You say in the case of Usai, the system there, but in case of Ige weakness. Let's go back to the MDAs. Let me go back to the MDAs, yeah? Some of the things they want to indict MDAs for. Of course, there's definitely a systemic problem. Why would not indict MDAs and not parliament? Because one thing I know, for example, I've been to work for an institution, BBC Media Action, say, for example, when you go out, yeah, you give us in transport, if for sign for them. And parliament know that. Parliament now then they write and tell people what to do. So how comes parliament no know, or how comes this systemic problem there? Because audit people don't pick their thing and then a parliament every year.
So let's first of all agree, say, the power for choose for go court. Now the commissioner get her.
Okay.
And it take that decision on case by case, putting several parameters into play.
Okay.
But we get case them all they investigate where we really see evidence. We choose for go out of court. We get case them all they investigate. We don't see conclusive evidence. Maybe the one where we get it will give we conviction, but we say no, we not the go court. For example, Dr. Richard Conte, in case of just done the $12 million Japanese aid. So Parliament, their own unique situation now be this. I mean, I've been lengthy press release. I still remember the details. One, almost all the parliamentarians, or in the greater majority, the money where they give them for go build constituency offices. Many of them use them for do other things where they show we either one kind of development here or that. When you go back to the process where give them that money, was it really so tight that where they give now strictly for office? Otherwise, Parliament as a structure for don't put mechanism in place for all themselves accountable. Say where we give this money for go build office inside 3 months you forgive we report. It was a bit loose. That one with investigation show say it be a bit loose. Second thing,
Mr. Blake,
we find out. Let's just analyze.
Please.
This is very important.
Go ahead.
Because now then inform we say, let we not go court, let we not go criminal, let we review this system with it. The second thing are this: some parliamentarians they receive sitting fees and other allowances. They're not denied, say they not receive the money, but then they not sign the paper, which was a lapse on the administrative and other machinery in a parliament as at that time. The third thing, and this is what they talk, a cut across all political parties, independent candidates, and even with paramount chief MPs them, with all due respect. Yeah. So when you arrive at a scenario where the entire system, and everybody know how sensitive the Parliament of the Republic is, if now one or two individuals responsible for this, come on, there is nothing we can do. Hold them accountable. But where you find the entire system get weaknesses, are you going to indict the whole Parliament and have no Parliament? Is that an option? I just ask the question. Secondly, if even you take all of them, well, not actually all of them, they get them weaknesses there. If you take all of them, then omissions then go amount to criminal liability, as at that time, weakness is there, either for monitor, for example, I think 60 million we then give them for build constituency offices. There was no mention of that. Then just give them say,
okay,
go build constituency office.
So I see.
So if they're not bill them, who holds them accountable?
I see your point. And I see, like, in una press release and other sides them, when I actually focus on this constituency development fund. But I totally, they away from that one day. Let me look at oversights, performing the role of the oversight committee, for example. Then they take money, na parliament, when are the government money, for go perform oversight function. They not go give list of the one them we go the oversight. They not go give report of the one them or of waiting and go find out from the oversight. But at the same time, then they take the money where they're not able to account for. Then they not to corruption or then they back to systemic.
No, well, we probe. What we been do actually now be a probe into how Parliament they work, because now sacred institution, and if this country for make progress, the sanctity and integrity of Parliament now a must. Because all of what we all they play with today, whether all of them freedom Yahweh and don't give the media, all of the laxitude and ambience where anti-corruption gets today for fight corruption, and the Parliament they give it. So it is like you going to your creator and for corrector. In fact, I want to be very precise here. Sierra Leone were one of the few anti-corruption institutions in the world. We don't take the fight against corruption to Parliament. Well, America they struggle with their own. Right now, as we talk, just the processes for even ask Donald Trump question. We see the drama. We see even bipartisan issues in bigger democracies. So as a small democracy, some of the actions here where we they take. If you see some of the scores all again at the international indexes, it's not really about how many people don't go jail. No, that's not going to stop corruption. America get the most secured prisons in the world, or they get some of the highest crime
rates. If I bring you back and go back to what you say, two things then they were at stake. I want you correct me, please. You say the power for lay on a charge to court. That power then at the hand of the commissioner.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And
secondly, you tell me say, for lay the one them where na them create tuna, for go meet there with corruption business, it's not in that easy, right?
No, I'm not saying not that easy. I just say now we are one of the few in Africa in the world we don't do it.
Okay.
So even go pro
but even when they go there, now the creator them down there, when they go there really for go see how they make an attempt, make effort for go there. But at the end of the day, all of the things that will happen, with the kind billions of leons where they lost from Parliament, according to the audit report, yet still we're not able to see anything. Similarly, so all the MDAs them they suffer that pinch them from ACC like every other year, but not Parliament.
Well, it depends on what you they look for and what we go look for.
No, I didn't look for nothing. I didn't look for nothing. What I didn't look for now that Parliament use money, they able for account for that. And for me, I think say it's not cool because now then the lawmakers.
So we are processing this now for hold them accountable and ensure we not get a repeat of malfeasances.
But in the case of what una do, not to accountable una hold them, rather una try for preventing no happen again.
No, we held them accountable.
Because none of them will not see anybody pay money back.
It depends on what they say for hold somebody accountable. If for hold somebody accountable for an act, begin from pointing to him that what he don't do say wrong. That are the first thing you need for do.
Okay.
Let me be clear on this. For hold somebody accountable, no mean say if for the jail and call for the panel or then for hanger na rope.
Correct.
For even come and say, Blake, you not can work yesterday and it is wrong. Provide an explanation. That's accountability. That's the beginning of accountability.
Correct.
And this is what we have succeeded to do in Sierra Leone. And what happened after that? The 2021 Open Parliament Initiative. Our parliament came third in Africa. It doesn't mean they are clean. The openness of the parliament, in fact, we all there, we've been the sea. Many sessions of parliament and the full journalists and other members of the public. But this, we see 2022, 2021, most of the sensitive sessions is divided in the screen and live on television. I am not saying they are perfect, but if we can probe them, hold them accountable, and come back to them, the reporting we make, we send them to the Speaker of Parliament, we send them to all the leadership of Parliament, both ruling party and opposition party then. And we tell them all, say, una all need for work together and protect and preserve the sanctity of Parliament. That was accountability to us. And this is not the first time for such a thing.
Why ACC not can do this same kind of thing to other MDs?
In fact, we don't do part indictment. In fact, sometimes that's why they say all the time that they go on audit reports, my brother, the records can speak. If time will allow me, I will go into the website. We don't do more systems review in MDAs than recovery and indictments put together. The percentage is in 65-35.
So all of them and they back now because of the system weak or the system get fault, we make on do system review?
For example, we do systems review na social welfare, gender and children's affairs. Now na two ministries separately, but na the same systems review. Why we do the review? Physical cash loss, audit, they record them. Missing documents, especially electronic documents, thing they want for backup, this and that. By the time we're done with review, in fact, 11 reviews where we do, emanating from audit report on 11 MDAs, we recommend over 460 best practices, including recommending to public institutions and forget safe. Who side the finance officer for keep petty cash and other cash them within my hand. Can you imagine big entities where they get billions, not get safe? So if finance officer get petty cash like 5 million, if you left and draw, then they can't broker overnight if man then jump it. So if they can't go now, if in 10, bring down the money. So if cash count, physical cash count, auditors then go do one, and then notice cash count loss or cash count deficit. I let you indict all the finance officer the way they can after that finance officer. The same thing will happen. But when we say una buy safe, then I agree with you, then buy safe. If that money lost now, you hold the person accountable. But you when you don't pass on that money where they hold, you go lost na yam. Then they go allow you finance officer, they get physical cash, they move with them from one place to the other. Thing on fleet management, vehicle control, asset management, how then they acquire and dispose of assets. These are systemic and it will be deliberate, so I don't want to be defensive of some of them. There are some institutions, they know they allow systems for work because if they work, they're not going to make then corrupt profits than they. So for them again, it's not only about putting the systems in place, but monitoring their compliance rate. And whose side there is a breach of compliance, we impose compliance sanctions. So not only for Parliament. In fact, Parliament at the first time we do that, there are institutions who don't do systems review 3-4 times. For example, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I think at 2 times we don't go there on systems review. On this audit report again, diplomatic missions, a loan on account.
You say Ministry of Foreign Affairs, how many times when I go to system review?
We have been there, I think, twice, to my knowledge.
Twice? System review 2 times?
Yeah, well, you know, in the first place, you're not able to review the whole system of one ministry at a go. It'll take you some time.
This particular thing where they can say, maybe, I just want to know if it's not applicable to owner. Where they can say, ignorance of the law, not to excuse. It's not applicable to owner.
No, not, well, and then it's applicable to we. Now, complete maxim. Now, a maxim in law, you know, now presumption where you not go rebut easily. For can't say no, I not be no, I make a do I know.
But now the case this, Mr. Blake, but now the case this with some of them review their own how they do.
Voting are the mandate of the SEC, not only for go to court, sir.
Okay.
The mandate of the commission under Section 7 of the Anti-Corruption Act 2008, where they amend 2019, it said the Anti-Corruption Commission will take every action necessary. First word for prevent, second word for confront, third word for eradicate. So eradicating an offense all over the world, they not begin with punishment, they not go end with punishment. It begin with putting systems in place, and it end and successfully end if we not allow those systems to work. And this is what we have been calling for from 2020.
So let me move small. Yeah, I will take you to different offices then for let me see, because I attempt for ask the questions then waiting have plenty people in mind based on waiting will be done the discuss so far before this time. You know, that's why I'm very much happy for you there for let we talk about this particular thing. Okay. So now I will take you, and I need we won't forget an update into this. The last audit report, you know, we find out say a lot of things that been there where plenty people consider for say undermine. Some people consider say embarrassment. The office of the president, waiting have been the update with regards the audit report, because for as far as I been know, the commission have been saying because the president and the sitting president no way they can able for investigate them, but other people and the commissioner rightly tell we say not so the president go handle money of any sort rather than some people them. So if not some people them, we mean say the blanket where they cover the president no go cover them. Waiting at the update with regards them.
All right, so the 2020 audit report, they been get 1,020 things them way they of interest to the ACC.
Yes. And to the public as well.
Yeah, well, I not go one for speak for the public.
No, me don't talk for them.
All right, so that's for you. And when you say you they investigate, whether a quick fix or detailed investigation, 1,020 issues. Not easy. Yeah, even FBI know they don't plan there inside 6 months.
No.
1,020 pieces of issues. So, as a way of update, we not done the it. That are the first update. But we don't done about 30-35% of the issues. And, well, whether by design or whatever, we cannot address all together. And the issues around the presidency now one way we will still look at where we will not reach to ameliorate as at this level. So the one that we don't address, for example, where audit report they come on, we get a quick fix them. Like this year, we're not even going to the total number. We just disaggregate into quick fix and in detailed investigation. And so you go find out that the quick fix them now, then they all against them. Then recovery, would have for pay to NACID, go pay for pay to NRA. We don't cross that stage in the 2020 audit report. As at the time of all the press conference, about 15 to 20 billion has been recovered direct to us. And not talk about money them where they pay to other institutions them, whether or not to we they can. For example, if they get for pay NRA, we told in tax or PAY, you know they bring the receipt to we. If you get for pay NACID contribution, you know they give it, they go pay NACID. If you get for pay money to the consolidated revenue fund, you know they give it. So the money that when they give it as recovery, now money that we've been there for specific projects and activities where they don't misappropriate and the window of implementation don't elapse. But now they say go implement. If they can't give it back, we they give government, then government will decide that they still do that thing with them or not. So, for example, money been there inside that 2021 about 28 million, where Petroleum Regulatory Authority for pay as tax to NRA, they don't pay. Boku billion been there for NMA as in revenue where they collect, where they not remit to NRA. We don't follow through on that, they don't pay. And several of them recoveries don't take place. So, and on the 2020 and every other audit report, if you visit the anti-corruption website, www.anticorruption.gov.sa, all the
Blake.
press releases and get it.
Mr. Blake, I think the question, in as much as we get 1,000 almost, and we don't they do the quick fix, whose category where the office of the president may fall under if you talk about quick fix? Because then say
Now
we get,
investigatable.
according to recommendation from the audit report, then say we get money waiting for return. For example, some small case then they, for example, me and you will go on the same trip where then go pay me more when at the same trip and then they pay you less. And the audit report been say they're supposed to forgive you all two the same couple. So some quick, you not get any quick fix at the office of the president.
Now investigatable. In fact, right from the commissioner and press release, if I dey go back to him word,
Please.
he said we dey hold them people and they accountable and we dey investigate them. So you know they under that category they go take out the money. So now investigatable. And it is one, and this is what I will say. Criminal-led investigations, then get their own dynamics. If you get speed in them, you might miss what you are going for. So every stage you get for do arm, cross arm, and jump to the next stage, do arm and cross arm.
And for compare notes. You know, this one, it basically, according to what I see from the report of 2020, get for do with travel, get for do with per diem, get for do with, you know, how they pay hotel receipt, how them, you know, travel with bulk of money. You know, the bottom line now travel and money involved. Yeah. But now, how many people now don't call for investigate?
On the 2020?
No. I mean, are still there at the office of the president, you know, when I mean the highest
No,
office.
we have not. I cannot give you any specific number of persons where ACC go to investigate on that.
And I don't call
because
any.
we know they won't. I not will give you any details on number.
Okay, so
or
now
if any.
you know they give me details because you know we're able for member. But one thing I know, yeah, the most.
No, I'm not saying I'm not able to remember.
No, but you say you're not able to give me
I'm not saying I'm
number.
not able to remember. I'm not able to give you number because I don't know the number, and I'm not going to give you details because the details where I get no involve the office of the president investigation.
So that's
as
why
a
I asked,
PR
say,
person,
yeah, I don't want details, but how many people I don't call?
I don't have, the first answer is on the office of the presidency, I don't have the numbers.
So now
If I have, I will give.
Now the same thing I talk. You're not able to give me number because you don't know them. You know get them off air or you don't get them. You don't know about them.
Yes.
Yeah. And secondly, I will take you again to another elected position where that case they be done fast track and in fact they don't done and they don't pay according to it I understand and from a press release. Yeah. The office of the mayor out of travel.
Yeah.
Give me background to that case there.
In fact, you see, sometimes it's good for them to get engagements there because the drama and social media is quite apart from the reality on the ground.
Correct. So now make we can always want to now for the explain to we.
So the issue not against her worship the mayor. The issue concern a mayor's delivery unit where it constitutes and it not follow due process and not always set the process. The Local Government Act of 2004, I think where they don't amend now, or they are about for amend, it clearly stipulates how council will regulate itself and how council will be regulated. Even before the 2019 audit report, they captured the constitution of the mayor's delivery unit, the local government ministry, and the decentralization secretariat. They don't already get issues with that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you read the Local Government Act, it's very clear. The ministry and the decentralization secretariat are the supervisory entity for all local councils.
Yes.
All. There's no exception.
Please.
And every decision where they take, including the budget and everything, every development plan, they go through the parent body.
Correct.
The first thing for note of we not matter who side it enough as you see, the first way they see that they approve the constitution of that unit did not go through ordinary council meeting. When are the law?
Mm-hmm.
If I go through ordinary council meeting, it's not an anti-corruption act, now their own law.
Yeah. So
If
in
I
the
go
case
through
of
ordinary
that,
council meeting,
in the case of Usai, somebody not follow due process, who that's then the all as the head? Responsible or accountable?
if you wait till I explain the analysis until you say we will know who that take the decision.
I relax now and listen to you.
Fine. If you go through ordinary council meeting, you forget 2/3 vote in favor of the idea by the ordinary councillors sitting in their majority. Let's say na 20 councillors you forget at least 15 sitting, and that 15 they 10 for vote for that idea, 2/3 majority. After that, the council minute plus a resolution for be forwarded to the ministry, introducing the idea, and the CAMAO for accredit the signature before I open a local council.
Mm-hmm.
When the ministry go give a written approval, una can go ahead. Now that they make local governments almost autonomous. But this issue not go through ordinary council meeting. These are the internal dynamics where we investigation prove.
Okay.
2, the chief administrator explained to we that in advice, formally, through letter, for let the thing go through council meeting and go to the ministry. Whether advice was heeded to or not, but in advice not happen. The mayor constitute this body and recruit people. The human resource manual of the council is clear. There are 2 categories of staff in the council: core staff and council staff. The core staff, now central government they recruit them, now central government they post them, now central government they pay them through the decentralization secretariat and the local government establishment secretariat. When you recruit them people, then bring them as a mayor's delivery unit team members. The HR writes to the mayor, requesting for their appointment letters, then job description, so you go know which category then they, and as human resources, we will manage them. None of those documents you are supplied to the HR. This will investigation show, the special panel where the constitution and audit report show. So when you begin use council revenue or pay allowances to those people, who are they? If they are council staff, why do you not go follow through the policy? We're very clear. Let them be in the HR records as staff, and let council aware that we don't take 5 people for this. All of them, other categories of staff where they see, so now the local council, they recruit them. Nobody know they come and say, pay back the money where you give them. And these things have been talked before, severally. All the supervisory ministry don't write, so the mayor, her worship say, don't go ahead with this. Those letters were available. So that one was a conclusive issue. All we needed was explanation from either parties for know how it happened. And all the parties concerned gave us the information. So that was a very straightforward case. And if you see that case, there was an ultimatum, not to out of court settlement we go for. We give our worship the mayor an ultimatum. Pay back the 187 million, or we go to court. So meaning, going to court was an option, not to out of court, but they can't pay no more. So that's the dynamic, and it has got nothing. And again, in that same 2019, there were other issues about payment to councillors. When not attend ordinary council meeting, then pay the allowances. All the service pick that as a suspected misappropriation. When we do investigation, the mayor and the CA prove, so we say, though those councillors we are not in the council meeting, but they are on assignment when the council send them. So now I make them give them the allowances. We know ask them for pay back that money, over 200 million. We don't ask them for pay because that explanation is convincing. If now you councillors, you send them maybe now one market for go supervise one community cleaning and record they say you send them letter there to the effect. Why we for say pay back the money when you pay them? So when we go for out of court, my brother, no sentimentality, no attach. The personality of who that involved is not in question. If we say pay the money, you pay the money. Unless you give the money to angels, then cover the head and just can't say this money now on behalf of that case. We receive the money and report to the people of Sierra Leone, not to you with the run after, and the issues will resolve.
I can talk now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I don't understand, but I still get one question on that. You say,
yes, sure.
not to be the mayor, rather because of the issues, them right? But at the end of the day, especially when it comes to the mayor, the unit where you talk about. So now the mayor been there before and in there ask for pay that particular money.
Well, we in the first place, we not ask the mayor one for pay.
Okay.
The mayor, with sister Aisatu Manja, we now be the travel with. Now then, if you read the press release, the people were responsible for spend that we free on money, the taxpayer and our money.
And I mean that 21,000, right? Approximately.
No, I mean well in Lyons, I mean 87 million.
Okay.
Those around 200 million.
Okay, and then now during this waka waka, the mayor been say he actually mobilized $2 million, right?
No. Well, that is not important to me. I don't want to comment on that.
Okay. Thank you. So let me move again to another issue. I think plenty things then the way we actually want for. The first thing we don't know say the mayor not only be the focus, but rather the one that will be the worker with we they no go through the legal process. Now them for pay that money, they don't clear. And secondly, the office of the president, they don't be very clear say when actually don't no begin looking to that particular well. We are not able to tell we almost people and they don't begin investigate into the office of the president yet. I just want to summarize and make sure say I don't miss anything from the ACC. So now, you know, in this particular area, in this case, now as we talk so, you know, waiting day for this report because last report now we say some people get for spend the Christmas na bien bars. Yeah, but we be hearing little or nothing about that day. We hear about the how they call them mines and mineral agency where una call but it not take some time and go back, you know. But this particular one, waiting they happen. Almost people that we get for see. Although you don't tell me about prevention, you tell me about recovery. You know the work of anti-corruption is just too critical.
Yeah, well, the summary we make one thing more I want to add quick. Now that we not go after the mayor, now the issue. And now the issue lead we to the office of the mayor. And we hold the people we're responsible for that money for more one council. And when the mayor and the lady will benefit from them trips. The money don't come. That we go continue for say in full all the money we then give as DSA and air tickets for that woman travel out of this country on those trips. Whether those trips yielded dividend or not, that's a different argument, but it not been legally constituted, and that's where we can come in. Then we don't conclude that. So on the 2021 audit report, and again, on the issue of, we don't know very much about people who spend the night behind bars, or if you go to the press releases, it will inform you. Probably because we don't get up to 4, 5, 6 serialized press releases naming people and what we did to them. Naming people and what we did to them. Some of them press releases are 7-page, 9-page, 11-page, as the case may be. Issue by issue in every ministry we don't handle. So if we are not getting now, but if we want,
so
we go on the website.
now that with the exchange contact, one thing where it could be very cool. Some of our press release them for the drop now WhatsApp, so they see them as.
So I promise you.
So I think starting 10 and there we could just need some quick question and answer from Una for look clear something, because one thing about the social media, if Una they say the social media they misinform, they disinform and whatever things them they go on with the social media, because most people they ignore some of the platform them, and now only when you go near and talk to people you go able for make. Come on, I'll tell you something. It like you like me platform, you know, like, and please, I know they talk about you. You like me platform, you know, like me platform. Oh, when it comes to question of accountability, if you give we answer, then if me go now and say, SEC say the office of the president, then they above, investigation. That means I wicked to me country. You understand? But if me call you Blake, Mr. Blake, come on. This that the issue them. You don't take your time. You don't explain. So if tomorrow I begin say, ACC say, we know good this, ACC. Now I get confidence for talk. Say, okay, ACC don't try for do certain things them, but now just that they know able for give this and this and this. And at the hope say in the future, you go able for try for get me something then, because anyhow it be. We the people actually want for know waiting the happen with the office of the president and how far ACC don't go. If we not get that one day, that old perception will be get about waiting the happen will still stick. because we are not able for clear it for we. And at the case where we face for now. So information sharing, you know, they reduce misinformation now the social media as plenty people they claim. Okay, so let me move on. You know, now as we talk
before you go to the next question, I 100% agree with you. And that is why you see the Anti-Corruption Commission, the model where we use for do with PR, we are available all over, all the time. So I agree with you 100%. I just want to confirm all of what you say. If you don't talk to the people, then get right for believe in what in they hear and what in they see. And you can't change it. I agree.
Now we get another update. We actually don't run towards the end of the program because we don't want to take long. But in the issue of we will not get a case in a court. We na public interest one there as well. The issue of Dr. Samuel Kama, what are the updates? What are the latest with regards that? The Chancery building.
That case active. We're not going to go too detail.
Please, we'll not just get summary. Or waiting then at the public holding for no.
Yeah, a very active. The trial they continue, or the prosecution they continue in case the defense counsel the one or two legal arguments then don't come up and we don't cross that stage. So we did at the prosecution level, and 6 people, 2 former heads of the Chancery, and the 2 heads we can replace them after 2018, Dr. Samura Kamara and that American man. Well, the American man will ever come, I caught it, but we get trial in absentia power. The trial they continue. We don't notify the government of America through the embassy in Aya, and even by the press release, one then citizen for answer questions in Sierra Leone. So the trial they continue, and we no one preempt. I not think na case will take too much.
Okay, so I'll ask you some questions the way people get interest on, yeah? We be understand say ACC for send some people and for go na US for go do some groundwork investigation, correct?
Then go, in fact, yes.
How many people?
Then go. Yeah, we are investigators and the director of operations. I don't know the exact number, but not so much.
Not so much.
The director of operations was that.
Yeah.
And some investigators.
Some? How many are the some?
No, I don't get the figure.
You know, what exactly them go do?
Except if somebody want for ask out what the ACC they exactly do. This is a corruption allegation. We say London give money to Chancery building in New York several times.
So basically, this investigation where they go do now around the Chancery building, now the workers, them, the people are waiting at the Chancery building.
Of course, including, in fact, you need witnesses, including for visit the site of the building. In fact, we can go a whole quantity and quality evaluator from Sierra Leone, from the Ministry of Work, for go watch this building and able to quantify how much money government don't pay and how much work has been done. You can't do that from Sierra Leone. No technology, not the way they watch left here, you watch also then they build in America. And tell we say, no, this, they don't build and don't, or they not done, or the money we don't come. That is why in we findings we say government don't spend, give over 90% of the money, but now 47% of the work they don't do. Not to ACC opinion than a professional engineer in opinion than the way we're gonna decide. So we went there, we investigated the staff them within at the Chancery, how we manage for no say due standards Davis, for example, if na contractor, if you get a requisite document for be a contractor in America, how or we press release or behold. All the details them they did. The case they put.
So tell me about this. The contractor na be legal contractor in America?
I don't go one give me legal. I don't go for give
based on the press release where you tell me about so now.
As at that time we talk and say in documents are not correct. As at the press release. So I go comment on the press release. But because a day before a competent court when I then get the law and then boost on
I get respect for that, and I respect you as well on that area there. But the truth is, I still want for know certain things the way people get interest for know. The contractor, some of in documents or in document they're not correct. Yeah, that is one. Whose time where this contractor gets this contract?
Good thing by grace I remember something there, not all things I forget. In fact, we know this. the contract award process. The entire process at 2011 is started.
Mm-hmm.
The first money left this country 2014, 15, around that. The first money, the contract was awarded in 2014, if my memory serves me well. Yeah? The first money, around $1 million left this year, this country that same year.
Okay, also
so this now commenting on the press release and the press conference, not on the legal argument within a court now. I want to be guided.
Okay, so how soon we go see the conclusion of this particular case?
We're grateful to the judiciary because they don't give a special anti-corruption division of the High Court. We get dedicated judges. Now make you they see the turnout of the case, they now know the tail trade. Yeah? And so we believe say once the needful is done, the judge then normally now we thank God and one for be thankful to the Honorable Chief Justice. The case are not a delay like trade. So I'm not going to show specific time, but we're not going to expect time for delay.
Okay, so a lot of things they out at the social media. You talk about the social media, we very much people they follow the social media seriously. I get 2 more issues then for deal with you. Then we can go because myself get another program where I for jump inside again after this one.
But we not talk it on the current audit report. Anytime that question comes,
yes, okay, we can come on there because of the way how the question and answer the academic. We can't do that. Exactly. I get 2 issues. Okay, we go touch on that quickly. 2 issues. Number 1, you know, we find out say plenty things them they come out from African Express, but ACC they ignore some of them things and they why?
I knew this was coming. You know, as a teacher, when they go teach students, then you get the expected question. This was expected. First and foremost, no media outlet.
I see I'm just not. I make her ask you. Somebody just they ask. I make her ask you.
Let answer the question. Allow me to answer the question for say. In the first place, no media outlet where they talk something about corruption in Sierra Leone is ignored. None. And no media outlet is treated preferentially. Ask the media outlets in Sierra Leone, where based in Sierra Leone, bloggers or social media influencers or mainframe media guru them. We not get any special relationship beyond supplying us information. If need, they will reach out to you for clarification and seek you for support. That we have done to every media outlet.
So if I can make the question direct, when I don't reach out to African Express?
If need, they will go reach out to them. For now,
so for all the publications, them no need they for reach out to them, as far as we are concerned.
Majority of the thing the way they say will interest you, except if any new thing they want to see. But they are all embedded in the audit report. And I tell you for free, this last audit report is over 560 pages. If you read them, you will see most of what they say. And when they read the audit report and summarize them, as you don't know, so the issues very interesting. The summary of the 2021
but you're correct. But some of the things the way they come, the revelation the way they come, can not even come before the audit reports can we see on the back.
Well, it depends on who saw it first. We get a tripartite relationship with audit service.
Okay.
So it not means that the time when the hearing at the public domain audit report don't come on at the time we know.
So in other words, for make them very fast and clear, most of the revelation then you say it can then at the audit report, right?
Most. The one that we need to see.
So the one that we need to see, yes. So if I can ask this direct question, sometimes then we can see bank transfer with transaction code. We know ever a bank of Salo, for example, come and say all of them are fake. Or because if not fake, you get for standing saying na fake. The thing that we talk about information, yeah, you get for saying na fake. But not one day we know you the bank governor or the communication sector come and tell we say na fake. But at the same time, audit ACC at the same time they tell we say most of them they na the audit report. But we know the CRE then they take action against them particular things then they.
New York Chancery building now one such way we brother Mr. Barr don't run several commentaries on. See the action we've taken on that.
Yes.
Now and one sort.
Most people they say because of the one they were involved, now it make una actually take great focus. Because apart from that, another bigger revolution they don't become.
Who that they involved in the New York Chancery case when they make we go.
Of course, we all know say the biggest hook in that in Samura Kamara.
To the public,
To the public, I like the word. And the public we work for.
No. We don't work for the public, but we work is guided by law. We get 38 count indictment at a count.
Please.
We get 38 count indictment. People are in that list. We get 22, 24. So they are the biggest hook for us. The first accused not to Samura. The second accused not to Samura. The third accused not to Dr. Samura. How is he the biggest hook? I agree there is a political capital in it.
Now you touch the
we
point.
are not, but we are not in the political capital.
No, you don't get for look and so, but the public get for look and so.
We dey beg the public. And they use your medium for beg the public. We did not and will not go after anybody because of any other capital, because of corruption. Now, 6 counts Dr. Samura Matthew Wilson Kamara get out of 38. 6 or 4 said, I think it's even 4. It's a long time now. But let's say 6 or below out of 38. And why? In we eyes and the evidence today, he was the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation at the time when we signed this contract. That is all. That is it. Nothing more, nothing less. If na political capital, Ambassador Yansane, Secretary General Trade before then count the transitional team, APC. We investigate them. Ambassador to Ghana. In not in the Ghana, they salon, they take allowances. One part with systems review where we do na Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now on personnel where they deploy on paper, but they're not then at the site. When we conclude investigation, Secretary General of an opposition party, if na political threat, now big case. You understand? If ACC was being used. But we don't indict them, we not go court. We say this issue is Ministry of Foreign Affairs not get any system where they monitor, then will command the way that they send on diplomatic missions. We go do that systems review, we bring report, and we the monitor. Come on, very recently, I tell you about Dr. Richard Conte, former Minister of Trade, 2011, 2012, Japan gives Salon $12 million aid in oil and lubricants and related. Their contract framework, what we was 50% for go to national development, 50% then use them for refurbish the Ministry of Trade. We don't investigate that case. We don't ever see the framework contract. Japan not deal with Salon and Audit. Because of the gap then, we not reach the prosecutorial threshold. We come to the public and say, we know they charge Dr. Richard Conte, though he was minister, and 50% of that money, $12 million, which is about $6 million, is unaccounted for. Because we not get the main evidence over, we not get the Sango court. Little was said about that on the social media. Nobody came to say we they protect and defend opposition figures. But when once an opposition figure is held accountable, not because it's opposition, but because he was in governance and he was leading people and he be deployed resources, and he know if we account for that resources, some people go on for make political capital. AGC not a contest for symbol, not a contest for constituencies, donor, local council, or ward election. If we not see any member of anti-corruption pan politics, call of politics, flag it and see what will happen to him the following Monday. He will be dismissed, including me, Naya.
All right.
I don't think ACC in 14 years, like I say, they don't know me party, pass the lie.
Okay.
When election time reach, we don't duty now for go vote. So we have institutions then, and they are guided by rules.
Okay,
so that Dr. Samura
let beg you quick one. I think down there, okay. Let me go again. No way, not the way we go talk and end. We not talk about the Chinese guys. When are the issue down the way, you know, for me, it gets the kind of flavor where you not ever get before. You know, when I go arrest people, the woman made a bagam according to una report, una press release, according to the commissioner. Una catch this woman made the bag, rebag the rest, a link una to different other people, una charge go court, una knock chest, una get all the evidence. At one point, una just draw back the case. Interestingly, this particular person, after una draw the case, don't go back in position, and then we'll be understand say una they call back this case because that una they say. Not that una don't forget about the case, but una they go back to the case. So wait now the latest with regards going back to that case.
The latest now, the position remains the same on the part of the ACC, and we we're not happy sometimes it will appear like we make several gains, then we reverse, then gain them. No progressive person, no one day. But if you are in a situation where not you, they in charge, and you work and the work of others, then equal in parameter, and you know they go do their work, then sometimes if they not do their work, they affect you. Or if they do their work badly, they affect you.
Waiting that name.
So now that we position on that matter.
Waiting that name, we
now we
don't understand it.
Now they are the can now. Now we do the raids. We inform the public. We indict, I think, 41 or 42 counts. We inform the public. 2 city ministers, permanent secretary, director of nutrition, and businesswoman. Okay, then go court. For the first time, I know they miss me word. For the first time in 23 years jurisprudence for faith corruption. Now remember, say the fiat for allow criminal trial for go on without jury. Now the Attorney General get up as of authority. Now he get up. By common law practice, all criminal trials for go on by judge and 12 equal ordinary men, then for return a verdict, the jury. But in anti-corruption jurisprudence in this country, will not one day get trial by judge and jury for all obvious reasons. 1, it will bring some delays. 2, the concept of corruption, now technical issue. The procurement and other issues are very technical. We know the doubt with jury then. But do we have a pool of jury where they go deploy to every indictment, considering sometimes we they charge 4 or 5 cases per month? So now that they make ever try that day. Anytime they go court.
Okay, and that will happen.
And they come. Let end this. Insensitive let end this.
Okay.
We prosecutors then force plea to the bench. Now for let them grant we trial by judge alone. And all the time they grant we trial by judge alone. But when it comes to the Chinese rights issue, we are not granted a fiat for trial by judge alone. And we don't have the power to grant us that right.
Okay.
So what we did was to enter no prosecution. Because if we enter prosecution, you know what will happen today? After that, all the cases where they can are trial by judge and jury, trial by judge and jury. And we're afraid. We don't want to go into that area.
Okay.
So we not enter prosecution.
Okay.
Then put the case na do. Okay. And the last time we the commission
no actually no one for go in the case side somebody go to influence the jury then. The jury then.
All done in a possibility, sir.
Okay, so now let's look at this thing.
I know they say go happen for a possibility.
The Attorney General and Minister of Justice we been say let una do this trial on judge and jury. Now be Priscilla Stewart, right?
Yeah.
How many Attorney General and Minister of Justice don't pass after Priscilla?
I know you do census for them, but I think there are 2 of us.
Okay. After Priscilla, because Charles Magai Priscilla, after Priscilla, we get Yewo. Yewo don't go. And then we don't get another one. So, for say Priscilla and Yewo stand on Priscilla in your shoe back.
When we get signals and review that file, we they come back to the public.
So who's them? Because this don't take long. Una say the last justice minister not agree for give una just judge. Yeah, where una the fear. For me, na genuine point. For me, na genuine point. But how long? That una don't go. Una be not the fight against them. Say una no want that for happen. It don't go. Other person don't come. For say una not make appeal to the other one. They must say follow we know what thing will happen.
The comment where I will make on that issue, and I want to be very precise here. The moment we review with situation and think it's good, we'll go to court. Not a close case.
Wait, the case we make una come out, not all because una not be get case and not all because some issue be there with regards una prosecution. The only reason we make una come out now because una get disagreement between judge and juror or judge alone. So why wait una the review again?
But not even disagreement. Not even this disagreement. Now a position we meet.
So fine. So whether
we agree or not, that's the fact. the situation, not a case. The situation. We are not, I tell you, we are not the judge. We are not the Ministry of Justice.
Correct.
FCC, FCC, it just like when you get a good player. Like when Ronaldo in Manchester. If they're ready for beat Manchester, it go tell like Ronaldo not relevant. You are only good when the team is playing well. So they take calculated decisions. In the first place, we always have an opportunity. Once with a sleep, door clean. If even that commissioner leaves, you remember the Hajj Gate? Adi Macaulay Kergo, former commissioner Kergo, sealed indictment. There was a whole public something about it. Why is the indictment sealed? When Ben Kefala came after some time, he unsealed the indictment, he reviewed the indictment, and we go court. And to God be the glory, we first accused, we secure conviction. The other one, then the judge acquitted and discharged, including the former honorable vice president.
Look at this thing. Anybody, because una not done the case, una not found guilty, not at the same time una not say not guilty, right? Right? The case of the Chinese case. Una not found them guilty at the same time, una not say they're innocent. But when this case began, they suspend them. And now, they all don't go back and begin for work.
Well, let's be clear on this.
Please.
This again are the issues of the law.
Please.
Anybody where anti-corruption indict, they know they work until that case done.
So the case done?
The one will be careful them, Troy and Ado.
So it don't
no
done?
Active indictment.
No, no, get that now clear. No, get that clear. It don't done.
You take one general comment for bringing to specifics. And
I just want to forget to be clear.
The general comment was not input the general comment.
Okay.
You say you don't see them back to work. And the general comment was anybody where STC indict another work. With the even rights to your employer say suspend them.
Yes.
We get a running back to now FLFA, Aisha Johansen, Camara, where FIFA say fine. We go maintain that part of the law. If you are indicted, you won't work. If you're under investigation, if your employer why go suspend you, then you go work. If they put you in a cell, we go put you there. If they grant you, they grant you. Yeah? On this issue, as it is, there is no active indictment against them. Because we enter no prosecution, the file that was in court was strewn. And it is that file that we have with us, and reviewing the situation, when it is appropriate and we put permutations together and think we can go to court, we will go. And this is one thing, I'll not to Ben, the commissioner where they come after, or after, they have to answer this question. These are public accountability issues. Some of the time you are not careful because you're lazy or you not get the mandate, or you not listen to the public, but you have to do the proper and good thing. How many cases don't go to court after that one case? It's over 27. Assuming if we enter trial by judge and jury, what will happen to that 27 case today? So as long as we sleep, don't clean tomorrow, the ACC gets that case with them, and at a certain time, it will decide what they do with them. And it will be in the best interest of the fight against corruption. So those persons will be involved. If there is need to call them, they can be called again. If there is need to obtain statements from them and arrest them, it can be still done. But let's make sure what we almost saw, we cannot see again. Because for we calculation, it's not good for the fight against corruption. And we got all powers for filing indictment. Now, you know the last issues where then carry goes to Supreme Court for say the commissioner not get power for sign an indictment. Assuming if the applicants then be succeed for that. So from 2000 to date, all indictments are null and void. They all the kind of appeal back. So the law, not to social media thing. Again, a lot of dynamics inside. Let me see many good lawyers no left talk. Because you can say one thing where they spoil everything for you. So even we were in our public relations, then they guard me for say what the public need to know. Sometimes when law enforcement institutions like ACT silent on an issue, not on anything and they hide. Where Commissioner Benkefala in time they done with brother, you know they take that Chinese rest file case he can't go. If you can't go say they can and they go call and seek out time. And they bring up. So Sierra Leone still has an opportunity for hold those people accountable and let justice be served. But we not go risk going forward for that. That one thing cannot hold us back. So a lot of, if you want to choose for go out of court settlement, sir, a lot of calculations, a lot of calculations.
Okay.
A lot.
So the
what
last,
will be
the last question on that particular issue today? When we go see you and do review and call back that particular case?
I will not be definite for say tomorrow, next year, or this year. But I am sure now a situation where ACC will take tangible action on, and it will take tangible action.
Why therefore take serious action? Why?
Well, I said tangible action.
Yeah,
we don't really take
tangible. I just put another way, they no more. Tangible means say serious or whatever.
Well,
yeah, why?
At the take time, let you know put them for me. Let me put them.
No, because the tangible na big word where plenty people not going to process quick.
Yeah. Okay, well, action where the public go see, say, oh, they don't do this. And I tell you.
So why would I feel say this na for take action where the public for really see say this na example?
Because no corruption case not small. Every corruption case na serious case.
I will beg for left that case day now. Now me the beg you for left that case day. Let me go to the recent audit. You know, sometimes if we have for sit down for this case, we go there and say the thing where you don't tell me we're very clear. You don't know who's telling I will call back the case. It's just obvious. Let me go now to the recent case. This audit report. I got interest on the diplomatic missions.
Diplomatic?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I get serious concern and interest over them thing. The reason being, even before this audit report they come out, so like before that first report come out 2020, I've been on the blow on with regards then diplomatic mission there also with how then they deal with people there. For example, when I think this way we see, for example, say plenty billions of leons get missing. The diplomatic mission they're not able to account for them. Now, in no explanation, waiting on the experience, waiting me know. Then diplomatic mission there also, then they make you pay. If for example, this na document where they for sign or for stamp for sure say na legal document. If I for pay $80 or €80 or £80, and then go tell me say la pay 40 na the table, the right receipt, they don't even stamp them. The right receipt. Then tell me say go pay the £40, dollar or euro na bank. Of course, bank na Europe or Western world, you get electronic receipt. So now that they get 2 receipts. So if me of all, please, na my opinion this first. Yeah? I'm not saying Ben Kelfala don't tell me say the audit reports na my opinion. So this na my opinion as well. If me don't get experience of such, whereas then they pay na table and pay na bank, then in my own conclusion, I not say yes. If this figure reach up to this, it means say most of them only when they pay na table, not they reach to government. So how una get for handle then case then they where the audit report don't say with regards the diplomatic mission?
They will be held accountable. And the commission are not mincing word. For the records, the diplomatic missions might just go to them. I think we talk about $3,523,588 unaccounted for or cash loss, plus 183,949 euro and 752,859 pounds. Well, we always have them money them go or do the analysis. So the crux of the issues around them, we don't analyze them all.
Okay.
For example, payments to staff after recall. We get 2019, 200. The money them boku, and the $222,000, and then we get payments to be remitted to Consolidated Revenue Fund. The money where they don't remit to Consolidated Revenue Fund.
In other words, where they don't send inside the Consolidated Fund.
Exactly. Now $2.7 million. And then we get permanent mission to the UN. We get something like 2018, $13,000. And then they in paragraph 2.6.1, page 86 of the report.
How much thousand?
The $14,501.
Okay.
Then at the permanent mission. Then we get this one on the $2 million. You go see on paragraph 2.4.1 and page 82. Then we get permanent mission UN again. And permanent mission UN, we embassy in South Korea, embassy in South Korea, we embassy in South Korea again.
So like all the other embassy them get this thing.
No, not all embassies. We got embassy in Brussels. We got embassy in UK.
So, for example, the Brussels. Now, how many would you talk about? So, Brussels. How many money?
Brussels, we get payment of children and education allowance without evidence of birth certificate. So, if then people can show with the picking them or the birth certificates, then this money will be adjusted, not misappropriated.
Okay.
So, we get 4,543 euro. We get done at 2021. 2020 we get 10,904 euro. Then we get 2019 3,634 euro. Then we get the embassy in Brussels, special impress, not retired. Then use and they no report on it. Now 40,141 euro. Then UK, I think we get payment without supporting documents for 2018, 19, 20, and 21. Then UK again, we get refunds without authorization or approval. So you see the technicality of the audit report now this. Any money auditors then say you know account for, then they tell you what thing you say you do with the money, and then tell you what thing happened to the money where then feel say will make them consider the loss.
Please, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
This one not get for do with the audit reports, but I'd rather ask you outside the box, and because I want to know how una can handle them things there. If me, I explain you a scenario just now. If I get a receipt of this nature, where they ask me for paying a table, ask me for paying a bank, and where the one at table not reach to the USA is supposed to reach, the consolidated fund, how una can handle that day? It's me presenting thing in the tona. Because in your opinion,
you are a complete.
In your opinion, I sure say some amount of some fishy things they happen inside it.
No, now suspicious conduct, Dandy. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you explained to me, so my brother is suspicious. Because I don't see the reason why you get bank account and a revenue they generate.
Yes.
And you there and a taxpayers and money, then they take care of you. Then you say let them pay some to you on table and go pay some at the bank. I don't want for jump.
Not to conclusion, you say I no one follow you do that, but at the talking case, we reach to that point where evidence, you show the receipt where you receive the two receipts. What you can do?
Honestly, na clear cut allegation that we go investigate because we want to know in the first place why then they do that kind of thing and which law cause them to happen. Is it that they get mandates for raise some revenue in cash where they go seek permission for use? I'm not aware, but we go ask them questions. If they say they get that mandate, then we go ask them for showing the source of the mandate and the authority behind that mandate. Otherwise, all revenue generating authorities, institutions today, even the council, then they go bank. Look at council then, where they fadugu,
Yeah.
Where
let alone talking about the one they waiting at Europe, for example, who side then they deal with
Europe.
Electronics and cash.
I encourage you. I now use it as just an example,
yes.
or any Sierra Leonean or any member of the public across the world will go watch this video or this interview. We don't know facing them like that. For reach out to the ACC. Let them reach out because we want to know. And so in today's world, you don't need for Kangi. We then receive them physical. If you do a decent scan of farm and send them to you, we can approach the ministry now and let them help we stop someone. If we're not able to go, you know what you can do for foreign missions. If we're not able to go investigate the persons of interest to go make them bring them. Like Trade Saidun Nalo, we make them counter. Dr. Ali Kaba, we make it come salo. They were all out of this place. We make them come. So if there is need for ask questions, we go ask. It is not only the missions in Europe, even the one in Africa. There was one time somebody called me from Banjul, the Gambia, that a staff was allegedly being paid allowances and salaries, just like we audit the capture. We're not then at the embassy, they come around. And I asked for details of the name, this and that, from where the person go back and get on to me. And I don't try for reach out, because by WhatsApp we talk. I don't try for reach out, they respond. And what else can I do? So we just believe, say, one day, something will come out, we will draw a lot of attention to this. But let's be very clear, now that the commissioner talk, they are not above the law. And the various issues in this audit report, now that will they say to the employing authorities. If now government give them people their job, let government know say they know they can do the work we give them. If then they do and say they know they do and fine. I mean, law no they sit down year in year out, pass auditors go pick out. How procurement officer go then an institution, procurement committee they una know they follow procurement process. Then they pay you salary, then they give you allowance. So then they go workshop all in America, Europe and other places. For go train them how to do procurement. You go do all that training, you can't alone, a taxpayer the money you take go. So now they pay us rent, na taxpayers the money. Then vehicle, na taxpayer money. They fear, na taxpayer money. Light bill, na taxpayer. Then for do the taxpayer, then work, they do. Those people, most of them deserve sacking. They should be sacked. And this is the inaction in the employers we have seen. You permanent secretary in that ministry. You the minister in that ministry. How many years you want to see your ministry named as one way not they pay tax? You get finance department, deduct salary from NASIT from workman and salary. You keep her. Why? Withholding tax. You keep her. Why? I can't understand this thing. So that's why the commissioner was animated. If you watch the press conference, that we don't, not that we don't tire. SEC not the authority for sack man, like I tell you. We know the sack person. We know they say we are not take her again. But then when we take them people there, we not give them job description. Even now because you love and you take them for let una work, and not they do the work, sacking. Sacking. We not do. I don't understand. By now, if anti-corruption was named in audit report, say we not pay withholding tax. Look, we ultra modern building, then they don't. $multi-million building. All the withholding tax we they pay. If commissioner talker, if there be someone we say will not pay withholding tax, commissioner talker and the finance director for proper explanation in 24 hours or he risks losing his job. That's the duty of the commissioner. This is not to the parliament or
when I don't pick up NIA, when I don't pick up NIA,
with the probing one. They're all. Yeah, it's even for them. Well, see, a day out. In fact, we get a whole issue on tax obligation. Let's just show you the amount.
Please.
For tax obligation, where the institution that way for pay tax, not the pay tax obligation are 560 billion, 204 million, 104,073 billions.
And so, if you watch from them, nothing in this way they cut, but they actually not pay into the consolidated fund.
Exactly. So they are there. Now 14 issues. We get duty waiver, we get duty waiver, revenue transfer not traced, transit account, tax liabilities without evidence of payment, tax liability. In fact, the rest are tax liability without evidence of payment. So, Airport Authority, corporate tax, NRA.
Yeah, at least you don't mute. You get me?
Yes, I get you, yes.
Yes, so now, with regards, what's in the issue we want for pick up with now? We don't come to the end with regards this particular report. Also message you want for send with regards this report.
The audit report?
Mm-hmm.
We don't categorize them into two. We get quick fix. When I let them tax issue, with that court money not go pay. We know the person will report. If na PAYE, we know say na the finance department and HR responsible. NASIT, we know na finance and HR. If na monies expended without supporting document, finance, na then pay the money working with procurement. So they go after them for pay back the money or provide convincing explanation. And so what they do press release, we say them provide convincing, we go bring the explanation to the public. Without explanation, maximum when the commissioner talk for for quick fix. Then I will don't call you. Now 2 weeks. 2 weeks now they give you for put yourself in order and talk to we. Beyond that, many of them again they go for full-blown investigation and then they will take some time because we get for move. In fact, some investigations and then across the country, like Ministry of Basic Education, some of the issues of the investigation across the country, get for go to almost every chiefdom. That will require time. So the quick fix to the one, quick one, maybe 1-2 months from now, we don't know who side we did with regards to the quick fix. And let the people be assured that they will always hold ACC accountable. And I make the details we don't put out, including news item. It gets every money we audit suspects they don't lost, and we will hold people accountable for them money.
I want to ask you for one last thing. Actually, I left you, but based on request, we can normally get some waiting. You get 15 more minutes. You know they pay me for that in a free. You get?
Maybe I give 7 more or 8 more.
No, well, actually, not really. I actually want for do something quickly. Please, I want to let you listen carefully because this one, I want to let people get you some questions. Them, yeah, 7 minutes. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So the line actually open for you. We want to ask question to Mr. Blake. Yeah, ACC. The line don't open now. Please, come on and ask your question quickly. Anybody where they come, make sure so you go straight to the point. Straight to the point. We only get 1 minute per call, and we take just 7 calls inside the 7 minutes we give you. 1 minute per calls. So if you get any question you want to ask Mr. Blake, do so now, please. Because when I ask, that make I actually want for make Mr. Blake go and rest because he don't come work. He look tired, but based on the request, make I say okay, let me give Mr. Blake some few timely answers, some questions that we actually you want to ask Mr. Blake. So the line open for you. We want to ask Mr. Blake some questions. Please come to the point and make sure say you go direct to the point. Yeah, not tell we what do. Go no more to the point. We not say we dey try for do work. But if you get any question, just go to the point. If you wait after the 7 minutes, it counter don't begin. You're not going to be able to ask Mr. Blake question anymore. Yes, we get a first call. We don't come. Mr. Blake, please. First of all, I want to let you tell me if you hear it. Please hold on, caller. If you hear this caller, yes, caller. You name and where you call from.
Yeah, by way.
Yes, please, just hold on. You hear him?
Well, this is a concerned citizen I call from Kono.
Okay, go ahead and ask your question to Mr. Blake.
Sir?
Sir?
This man, he don't ask a question about the office of the president. The last audit report where they suspend the other auditor, they indict the same office. This time around, they indict the same office. So now they have made the different for the job for investigate the president, the office. Because we're so concerned about this office. The way they come with the point finger at this office, they call the president all sort of name, double dipping, this, all other sort of name. Then why I would need for clarify the issues there. We're very concerned about the issues there.
Thank you very much, my brother. All right, 1 minute per call.
So
yes.
You can for record that call for me because
okay,
I don't get
basically, that's some two we don't talk about. The office of the president say waiting Apple we make 10 and unable for come out plain and tell we waiting at the latest developments with regards to the office. They'll take another call. Welcome to the show, please. Your name and who side you call from?
Hello?
Yes, please. Your name and who side you call from?
Yeah, I'm in a concerned citizen I call from the US.
Okay, concerned citizen. Go ahead and make your point. Quick. Your question.
Yeah, the question for Mr. Blake.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we all it's fine, it's good.
So, in fact, we have this plan for your caller. I don't know if that is how they noise on the earphone or earpiece they use.
And the earpiece, you get me now?
Yes, go ahead and see again. Yeah.
Yeah, I say Mr. Blake, if I already don't say, well, you know, one way or another, you say, to read all that. But either way, we see it as a kind of bias, you know, by the way I go with investigation.
With whose investigation where you say them bias on?
In the case of the Chancery building.
Okay, why you say them bias?
Because we know the time when they say the money come.
Okay. ACC don't tell we say ACC don't tell we say that from 2011.
Now the Chinese man they give the money. How the Chinese man, China they give them money they follow help you for do that work.
Okay.
We are the count the money. Who shall they send the money? Who they begin the sport? Who they send the money? They begin the sport at 2011.
Thank you very much. You only get 1 minute, sir. Blake, you get that one day.
I think they asked for the New York Chancery.
Yes, he said una sort of una kind of bias with regards down there because the time where they give the money and the time where the case all thing come up. So take note of that one day. We could just pass on them quick one fast way of polishing. Let's take this other call, please. Welcome to the show, please. Your name and who the call from?
This is Abdul call from United States.
Go ahead, Abdul.
And anti-corruption starts with the name and shame program and we'll not see continue. The parade teacher then a mainline disgrace them, say then they take bribe for exam. When people ensure put fake PhD and other degrees them because they get attachments to the government, they not do anything about that. Waiting this one go say about that.
Thank you very much. You get that one day, Blake?
Yeah, clearly.
Good. All right, so we'll take 3 more calls if you're available. If not, we go allow Blake for just polish them thing and then we wrap up the program. Thank you very much if calls don't done. But in the meantime, I think so we'll no need for wait for calls. Blake, take the questions then quick.
Yeah, so I want to begin from the rear. My brother.
I beg you, if we get called because now that we get time with, we will allow you them for the answer as quick. Go ahead.
So Abdul, thank you very much. You say ACC been do naming and shaming, and you reference the will be present some people catch to the public, and you refer them as disgraceful. In the fight against corruption, the anti-corruption get the latitude for take every necessary measure. In we own wisdom, we've been thinking say the kind example only for set pan corruption for setup. But that singular act was resisted, including with Human Rights Commission at this country. An anti-corruption commissioner for Sierra Leone. So if we take an action where some members of the public, including state institutions, then they say no good. If we continue and then we are not listening. So now we will not display people again.
Let's take this one quick.
Make sense.
Welcome to the show, please. Your name and who the call from. You get 1 minute.
Yes, Ngbepe, how you do, pa?
How do you do fine? How you safe?
I just want to ask you one question. This guy Blake, he work for the government?
He work for ACC.
None of them not credible. All these people don't have a BM paycheck. So I can't ask him any question. All of them have to give account when the time comes. Thank you very much.
I don't think I know that.
It's what
okay, he say if you do work for the government, I say if you work for
Assalamu alaikum.
Please hold on. He say he want ask question, but none of them are not credible, so he not go ask any question. At the end. Anyway, let me go. Welcome to the show. Please, you name and say the call from.
That's his
Yes.
Social media. I excuse them. They are getting the benefits of the doubt.
The call from where?
So if person work ACC now for the government of America.
Okay, Blake, you can answer to that part. Comment on that. You get it, time, but let's just get this call at Welcome to the show, please.
As I say, I call from Riyadh.
Okay, go ahead and ask your question.
As this afternoon, I will say, I really appreciate you now for me like how them people are because now the only them platform here we go able to talk to them.
Okay.
Because they normally give it chance. For me, could they ask the question whether they're going to AYV or Radio Democracy, they give a chance and they open phone line safe.
Okay, what do you want to ask now, Mr. Blake?
So, me just want to ask the ACC boss.
Go ahead.
About this man where Dr. Samuel Kamara in case. Mm-hmm. Why they really know say with their own findings, then all the one that we don't can testify, they know say that man they no get any question for answer. Why they go waste the country resources for send a man in a court?
But you know say that case they in a court still?
I know say they in a court. I may talk say because I know say they do first an investigation before they send the matter in a court. With their own investigation, we don't all on they do. Then
so the investigation we them been do, them been tell we say they not get any case against Samuel Kamara.
Well, that's what you look like exactly. Because why
They say the man mislead in principal. What are the principal lay? So why they not go and ask the principal? Then go send the man a court.
All right. Thank you very much.
For make you waste resources.
All right, sir. Thank you. God bless you. All right. I think, Mr. Blake, we could come wrap up quick one. Answer the questions the way you don't get, and then we move. We're not taking any further.
This last one, let get clear.
This last one say, if you not say during an investigation, a preliminary investigation, and not say Samuel come and not get case for answer, why would not waste the resources for even send people for send and go court and send people and go and begin go find out something about the Chancery building?
All right, I'll begin right from that, my brother. I think he came in late into the discussion.
Okay.
Dr. Samura and 5 others are indicted, so we know waste resources. Yeah. And Anti-Corruption Commission is audited by Audit Service Sierra Leone. And the Parliament, they approve the budget every year. Okay, for the account of every penny, dime, the government of Sierra Leone and the people of Sierra Leone and taxpayers and the deal with. So no job is in this country done by public institution a wasted job. First, if they not do it properly, but they do it properly, it will help this country. So, and SEC now one of the most relevant institutions. In fact, today Sierra Leone get any good image small, you know, go put the fight against corruption from MCCU, TICPI, Afrobarometer. They are all saying good things about us, and this is good. This new brother from US will be say, it's not from the government of Sierra Leone. Are the hook, then are not credible. We're not going to talk to anybody. That's unfortunate, you know, with all due respect to him. The government of Sierra Leone are your government. The Anti-Corruption Commission are your commission. Not to matter, His Excellency President Bio established ACC. Now, let's Amati Jankaba. His Excellency former President Anes Baikroma can give you more stronger laws in 2008. And this president can give you more laws in 2019. So the fight against corruption is here to stay. If we state institutions and they do bad and they know they work well, we can critique them with the objective of making them better. But we can't disown them. This is Sierra Leone. It doesn't matter where you are and what they do, who say you did. You have one identity. If they call you an African American, Africa not a country, not a continent. You came from a part of Africa, and that part is Sierra Leone. Even if you were war and bad, you have to play a role to make it. And that's why I appreciate sessions like this, where we really spare on time and use your data, your time, and call we for let we explain to we compatriots them how like the fight against corruption they go. Me don't they sitting at 13 years at the council, government don't come and go left me. No, they're not acting. Now 2010 I joined anti-corruption. Say today I did it. So institutions are here to stay. The issue of the fake degrees, Abdul, the way they compare, because we don't talk on the naming and shaming. We they still name and shame. Now people know the pin at 23 again. Because when we pin the name for the first time, it doesn't matter who we started with. But that was the opportunity. We started with school authority, then we're going to use special room for let picking and write mathematics. That case they court state today. We show them to the public, say, these are the people who do this act now, now Wellington. Now, Fatibu Institute, one community school. But again, the reaction from the public and a national fight. If Human Rights Commission, civil society say, no, we're not supposed to do suspect them. So, for every day they see, and they lynch, but they will then say thief, put tie on their neck. I know you see press release for that. So, thief not thief. But in this country, if thief man clean, he dress fine, he get security, he get bodyguard. When you touch him, some man they vex. So because those ones we are in classroom, they say, no, we're not for pin the yonder. But that way, all the jog phone are piece dead, we don't see them dead body in our streets. They say, in fact, when you see young man in dead body today in our streets in Sierra Leone, either it's a push, he die, or it is the beat and killer. No questioning extrajudicial, and nothing much is said. So we learn from that. And on the issue of the fake degrees, I mean, this is it. Section 128, subsection 3. When an amendment to section 128, now he bring into being the offense where they call academic malpractice. And the definition say, not when you possess some, when you use a program organized by an educational institution for confer an advantage on yourself or another person, you don't commit an offense. The investigations hold on the fake degree stagger. We don't NASCOM you. Primary Cargo, where Dr. Lahabi say get fake degree, it's not true. The guy did his first degree at Jala. He did not have Ronnie in his as part of his name, where they do in first degree. We go Jala, the matriculation register, we see him, we snap him, we get him. In supervisor, supervising dissertation, they are alive. The professor, we talk to him. The matriculation picture we incompetent take in the 90s a day. In convocation picture day. So if this man can add Ronnie to his name, where they do postgraduate, and that Ronnie name not there in first degree, does that render his first degree false, fake? Agree? Now an error for add your name, you know go do deep pull na court. Well, that's not a criminal offense. That's a criminal offense that one day. Somebody that the way we investigation proof say this person not get credentials, and we don't ask NAPCOM for take administrative action on that person. So this whole fake degree saga, the only time you go qualify for corruption, if that fake degree or the person gets, 90 and the job, 90 and the promotion, or 9 keep at the job. That one would go after him and ask for let them relieve him. And the Tertiary Education Commission don't come and say all papers where African Graduate Institute bar or this Dominion College give, they are null and void. They have said I'm for one of the again. And on the issue of this Chancery building, the process started in 2011. The first money left here 2013-14, and we don't talk and clearly. And we exactly don't go after if not only the first money, all the money will go. And 97%, about now over $4 million that they don't send for that project. And only 47% of work not be done. So that is what it is. And the latest development on the office of the president, I think we don't discuss that and the length in it. So far so good. Those are my few responses I want for.
You like to?
No.
You not like to?
And they say no because I want. Say truth can bitter at times.
Okay.
Well, actually, I like to.
Oh,
I like
the truth now. People be actually want for talk to you. So we go like forget you again in another edition for lay you get one-on-one engagement with people because not only you educate, but rather you want for talk to people and people then get unended question for ask. And if we want for the clear and we want for show the good image, clear some perception. Now, only way we get public engagement. And I tell you, this platform, you pay nothing for that. As long as you engage the people, we just too okay with that. So, because as I don't try attempt to open the line, from where I take the last call, the line not the rest, and it will continue for ring till tomorrow morning. Because they get question where they really...
I know.
Eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I go be available.
Yes, so we will actually make a time for that one day for let we actually get a further discussion on this particular issue we get for do with corruption. And as time they go, things then we will get for need some like when they pull some press release, we need some question and answer on that day. We will really they reach out to now for let we actually see how best we can able to get information where people will make use of. So I want to apologize, say sorry that we're not going to take further calls, and sorry that we go actually reach to the program and end up at this particular point. This one would actually take close to 2 hours from where you're not even conscious of that, Andy. Yeah, because the discussion. And interestingly, we not talk certain things that they will for talk or not able for talk. Because the report and too big, the issue then too boku, but one day no go do. Pass with the do small, yeah?
Yeah.
And take some of these reports, this audit report, for example, need for take them department by department, agency or MDAs, see how best we able for work on that before we able for exhaust them. If not, nothing like that not happen. Yeah, so we will reach and arrange that one day, definitely, and see how best we can able for do that one day. One for say thank you for joining me inside the program today. Mr. Blake, we appreciate you.
Sure.
Yeah, we appreciate you so much. Thank you very much. And well, until we meet again inside another edition where you will get for join we hopefully. I want to say let God bless we all and let God continue for make we day together as one family. Thank you very much, Mr. Blake. Well, in name now, Sylvanus Blake, in the public relations officer for Anti-Corruption Commission. The producer for this program, Ilyas Abba, we actually don't make sure say it puts in place this particular guest for we able to talk to us this particular.
And I always be available.
Okay, I think the network don't begin all and day. Not a problem. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Blake. Thank you. And thanks to you we don't call, thanks to you we don't like, thanks to you we don't share, and thanks to you we come and view. Until we meet again, my name is Sembepe, the Freedom Fighter. God bless, we country Sierra Leone, where we call, we add. Thank you, bye.
Because the survey when we get shows that 92% of the people of Sierra Leone believe in the work they do. That was done by the PFM Consortium, an independent body. We confirm say the people of Sierra Leone strongly believe in the fight against corruption and in support with you they do. I just don't tell you results. I don't tell you say the people they will investigate. Some will let them go. Some will find them guilty. But you don't ask me a lot of questions about the past government. Maybe if you come to the present government, then we now come with the details.
Mr. Commissioner,
no, but you question, the only way how you question will make meaning to the people of Sierra Leone if we don't do a comparative presentation of the work we don't do with people in the past government, we do with the present government, before we now come for assess with the perception of the people.
But I tell you say, go fine since
yes.
you didn't at the studio, let we try for flag most of the issues then, because they look at 2021 as a whole year. So if you dare, and we as journalists, follow, they bring to you some of the issues.
I agree. Okay, let we look at that situation.
They follow the conversation, especially conversation where they spark debates from Sierra Leone and the way now when they use social media, where I believe they use it very actively.
Yes.
Let me ask you that question.
Yes, and a very good question. I be just want to make sure say we build the context well. But I tell you say that talk when they talk say me they only go after people in the past government is not true. In fact, they go after people in the present government far more than people in the past government. But also, most significantly, even the one that will go after the past government, anybody point to one, we go talk, say, we go ask our questions them, and there was no basis to ask him. One, there will be none. All of them had issues to answer. They made statements. Their issues were legitimate. The claims against them were all legitimate. Serious accountability issues. Some of them we don't find guilty in court. Some of them don't pay back billions voluntarily. They come and say, yes, now we take, look am. I present them to the people of Sierra Leone and say, this money we will take from people in the past government, look at more. The same thing for the ones them we will not find guilty. We come back and say, there are them, yes, like Ambassador Yassane, I just don't talk about Paolo Conte and others. We look at them and say, no, yeah, evidence not there, and we let them go. At the end of the day, we get a serious responsibility for perform. We not get for come and talk, say, okay, because we don't want to let people they point finger at we for say people they in the past government that they run after. So all their sins are forgiven. No. We don't get that kind of blanket amnesty. Now,